Alvi,
Yeah. What's up?
my internet stopped working again.
Really?
Okay, guys, if you guys are in here, 7th and 8th graders, please let me know. Okay, perfect. Hi guys. Okay, that was my nephew. He's in my 4th grade class. He just wanted to say hello. Faria, Shuchi, and Merab. Good. So I'm just gonna go through. Sorry about that. Spectrum internet just got disconnected. If that happens, don't worry about me sending another link. Just go back to the YouTube channel again a couple of seconds later and click on the live video. Usually I'm back up again with the save and I want to take it off. So we are running out of time, but that's okay. I want to really go through it. So as I were talking about this sentence, the smell of burnt toast filled the kitchen. In this case, the subject is going to be the smell and it's filling up the kitchen. All right. And what was our modifier? The modifier was burned, meaning it was our verbal that was working as a participle, meaning it worked as an adjective to modify this noun. All right? Now, our next one. The next one that we are going to go through is going to be gerunds. The other type of verbal that we're working on today. All right? So this is a verbal form that functions as a noun. That functions as a noun. So the other one that we talked about, it functioned as an adjective. Now this is functioning as a noun. Remember, a verbal is basically a verb that is functioning as either an adjective, noun, or an adverb. This one is functioning as a noun or pronoun. So obviously the next one we're going to go through will be acting as an adverb. One example, very easy example. Painting helps me relax. Who can tell me what's the subject of this sentence is? What is the subject or noun of this sentence? Do we know? It's painting. Good. It is painting. All right? And it's helping me relax. So in this case, painting, paint usually is a verb. It's an activity. But in this case, it's working as a noun. So the verbal is painting, which is the gerund. And it's working as a noun. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys get to copy that down. Moving on, I'm going to give you another example of gerund. And that will be I like visiting museums. It's a very simple sentence where the subject is this, I. What am I doing? I like something, that's my verb. And this is my object of the sentence. So in a gerund, it can work as a noun, as subject or object, because you know a subject or an object can both be noun. Sometimes if I say I am talking to you, I am the subject, which is a noun. What am I doing? Talking to you. To you is the object, but that's also a noun. So it can work as either or, and in this one is working directly as the object, and visiting, this part, is my gerund. Okay, because it wasn't working as, it's working as a noun. All right, because the verb is like here. What am I like? I like visiting museum. All right. So now I'm going to show you guys a trick. One of the ways that you can tell the difference between a gerund and a participle, the one we just did, is basically by replacing it with the word something. And if the replacement work, then the word or phrase is a gerund. And if the replacement doesn't work, then it's a participle. Why? Because something is a noun, and if you replace it with something and it's working, that means any noun can work in that sentence too. It may not make sense, maybe literally, because sometimes whatever, but any noun can make sense. But if you replace it with something and it doesn't work, that means it shouldn't have been a noun. Maybe it should have been an adjective, as in it should have been a participle. For example, look at this sentence that I used earlier, and I said it was a gerund, right? Painting relaxes me, helps me relax. Helps me relax. Okay, and I said my gerund was obviously painting. Now let's do that test, and I replace it. Something helps me relax. It still works. Talking about something, that's a noun, and it has a verb, and it's helping me do something, relax. We don't know what it is, it's not descriptive, but it's working. Therefore, this one was a gerund. Ta-da! Now, hopefully you guys get to copy it. If not, always you can go back and copy it a little bit and then come back to life point. Let's use an example that we used in our participle section. And we said, applauding, very first example we used, the audience gave the singers a recognition. Now let's change that and do our little test. Something the audience gave the singers a recognition. That sentence does not make sense. What? Why are we saying something right before this sentence? We could have just said the audience gave the singers a recognition. So it doesn't work. Not a gerund. Does that make sense to you guys? Do you guys understand what I'm doing here? I'm showing you guys a trick to really figure out the differences between a gerund and participle. Okay? If you understood everything and understood the process of the test and why I did this, write down in the chat that you're good. If not, ask me what you don't understand because I'm going to show you again so you really get it. Okay? So until then, I'm going to move on to the next example. We are doing infinitives. So remember the three types: gerund, participle, and infinitives. The third type. Okay, so we did a verbal form that acts as an adjective, participle, a verbal form that acts as a noun, gerund, and this is going to be a verbal form that acts as in. What does it act as? This one, infinity, remember the word infinity? It means it can be anything, right? Basically means it can act as all of them. Basically, this one is the definition of verbal form. It can be all of them. So there are distinctions between it acting as a noun, acting as an adjective, and acting as an adverb. And I'm going to go through all of them separately. And that will be the end of the class today. This thing we just took in a lot of information, even just today, based off of that one question. So the first one we're going to use is infinitive noun. So in infinitive, we usually specify which one is it. Is it a noun one? Is it a verb, adjective one, or an adverb one? So we're going to do the noun one. That means this one is acting as a noun. Ben likes to ski. Okay? And to ski, this part is the infinitive noun. It's acting as a noun. Now, what is the difference between this and gerund then? Gerund was a verbal form that was acting as a noun. Let me tell you what the difference is. A little tricky, but infinitive, you know, it's always an infinitive if the phrase typically begins with the word to. Okay? Infinitive, this is the main definition. Besides this, act as a noun, adjective, or adverb, usually begins with the word to. Ben likes to ski. My goal is to finish a marathon. Okay, my goal is to finish. That's why it's an infinitive noun. Even though the ski and finish are both verbs, because to ski, to finish, it's working as a noun. Okay? The subject is over here, my goal. The verb is actually right here, is. Okay? And this is the object part of the sentence, and we have a verb here, so this is going to be my infinitive noun. Okay? Now that's for infinitive noun. Now, next one is going to be infinitive verb. Infinitive verb. Sorry, infinitive adjective. There's no verb. It's not acting as a verb anymore. It is a verb. It's acting as adjective, adverb. It's very confusing to even explain. You get all confused in your head and you say the wrong word. But what I meant is the infinitive adjective. We just did infinitive noun. So if we do infinitive adjective, an antique store. Antique store as a store that sells a lot of like old pieces of furniture, ceramic, like very unique stuff, right? Antique store is a good place to find hidden treasure. So an antique store is a good place to find hidden treasure. The infinitive in this sentence is the phrase to find hidden treasure. Remember I said the word to find hidden treasure. Okay? And it's working as an adjective. Hidden treasure to the entire sentence. So an antique store is a good place to find hidden treasure.
Such a nice
The
guess,
infinitive phrase functions as an adjective here to modify the sentence. What's the subject of this sentence? The antique store, an antique store. What's the verb of the sentence? Is. So, and the antique store is a good place. The sentence can end right here if it wants to. All right, but it didn't. I could end it here if I want to, but I'm not going to because I don't want to just say an antique store is a good place. I want to give you a reason for it. I could be like, an antique store is a good place because you can find good treasure. It's a longer sentence, it still works, but this is a more precise, nice sentence. To find hidden treasure is basically acting as the adjective for the entire sentence. It's describing the entire sentence. Okay? Working
okay.
as an adjective. That's adjective for the whole sentence. Who's understanding it so far and is okay with it and doesn't think that I'm just jumbling and rumbling and just saying whatever, and you guys are just like, what is this boring stuff? Could be a little boring, it's grammar. But you need to know gerund. Infinitive, maybe not necessarily, is very easy to figure out which one it is because it usually has the phrase to. But you kind of need to understand gerund and the other one a little better to write better. Okay? All right. And then the last one we are going to do infinitive adverb. Okay?
But in any case, let's go ahead.
And basically, the means is working as an adverb. What's an adverb? An adverb is a word that describes a verb. So let's review what an adverb is right here. An adverb, word that describes a verb. Examples: quickly, slowly. Okay, those are adverbs. Now, infinitive adverb example: to be on time, we should leave. To be on time, we should leave. And the infinitive phrase, as you have anticipated probably, is to be on time. Starts with to and it's to be on time. Okay, it's the infinitive phrase, and the infinitive phrase is acting as an adverb here. And it's modifying what? What is it modifying? It's modifying this subject. It's modifying this verb. Leave. Leave is the verb here. We should leave. We is the subject. Should leave is the verb. And it's being modified by this part because it's describing how they should leave on time. Okay, basically what it's saying is to should leave on time. So you could say we should leave on time. That's one type of sentence. Or you could say it nicely, to be on time, we should leave right now. Okay, so very rare we use these types. We say talk like that. We talk the other way more, but you should be able to know. Why are verbal forms important? I'm going to give you guys leave it with one point so that you don't think that it's not important and don't really take this into an importance. It's important because when you write, writers, or you yourself, when you write, you're writers too, can use You guys should write this down and remember this. Why you need to know this. Verbal form
All right. Sounds good.
to make,
I'll take a quick look at the calls that are coming up. Like today, we want to do
make
things. I've got 3 hours of stuff back to back. Um,
their writing, or you when you're writing more varied, as in more different styles of writing, and concise, as in not long sentences, nice short sentences. Okay, and to give it a better flow. Okay, so this is the reason why we would spend the last entire hour of this class doing this. Writers can use a verbal to make their writing more varied. So to make, this is an infinitive one. We are writing more varied, as in different types of style, concise, short and simple, and give it a better flow. And these three things make writing better. So that's all for today. Actually, guys, I ran a little longer, 108. That's because we missed a few minutes earlier. Sorry about the internet connection earlier. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. sharp. We're gonna go over the rest of the questions since we didn't get to do
get started with
any of them. We did two. But you learned verbal, and there will be many questions on here about verbal tomorrow. So we're gonna go over that test, start going over that test again tomorrow. And every question that has a different topic, I'm gonna go in depth with the topic. So I suggest you guys keep all of these notes together so that you can add on to the notes and review it and remember it, especially for the 7th graders. You guys are gonna have a lot of these grammar questions not too far away from now when you take your high school test. 8th graders, if you've seen it already on that test, but you're gonna need it in future in high school, because first of all there's English language arts regions, and second of all SAT, there's a whole section of grammar in SAT that you need to do well, and they get very detailed. Okay, so I'm building up on the topics first so that when you get there it'll be easier. Okay, I didn't get to do these things with you guys before when you guys used to come to the learning center, because you also so much of it was focused on doing your homework, etc. But I think this is actually serving another purpose that I haven't gotten around to serve before. So I'm really liking the fact that I'm making these videos and these topics that sometimes you guys may not know it because your teacher didn't review it, didn't get a chance to, but now you're learning it. And it helps you in the long process and makes me feel better. Let me know how you guys feel about this class. If you like it, if you think how I'm making everything for you guys, how I'm explaining is good for you. If it's not, let me know too. I'm not gonna take it offensively at all. I will take it as a criticism and make it better because it's a class for you guys. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.
one, it's unclear whether that's an international creator or not. Okay. And then have you guys been